Hello, TurnTokyo.com. I'm Jackson Browne. My recent favorite album is not a recent album. My most favorite album is an album I rediscovered, but it's a Raikuder album called I Flathead. Nobody realizes what a great songwriter Raikuder is, because he's such a great musician, but the writing on this album is unbelievable. The first live gig I can remember was Lightning Hopkins at the Ash Grove when I was 14. My father took me to hear Lightning Hopkins, and that was my introduction to the Ash Grove, and it was my introduction to the blues. I think my life-changing book was Lust for Life by Irving Stone, about the life of Vincent van Gogh. And my favorite movie was 8½. But these are also, we're talking about when I was young, when I was like 14, 15. Yeah, Lust for Life, the story of Van Gogh, is a story full of, it's just heartbreak after heartbreak, defeat after defeat. Yet he became more and more the artist that he eventually was. Each time he would fail, he would become more and more. He'd become himself more and more. And of course, the greatest part of the story is that his brother always believed in him. And that's enough to make me want to cry right now, because he was able to continue with his dream of being an artist because of the love of his brother, the support of his brother. His brother supported him. Oh, and this is a great story that always meant something to me. Especially that he became the most celebrated artist of all time, or one of the most celebrated artists of all time, and he didn't ever have any recognition during his lifetime. And that's a great message for any artist to know that it's not about the acclaim you receive from those around you. It's about what you yourself are able to make happen, independent of that acclaim. 8½. It's such a great story, because it's about a film director that's having trouble completing his 8th film, or maybe it's his ninth film he's trying to make, and it's about the complications of his life. They're all his fault. Everything he's done is, nothing lines up, nothing works in his life. His marriage is a mess. And he keeps imagining, he keeps remembering things from his childhood, and he keeps trying to translate that into the film, and the film people want him to hurry up and finish it and make the movie, yet he doesn't know quite what he wants to say, not quite how to say it. And in the end, it still doesn't ever come together, but he realized that the story of him trying has been the story that he wants to tell, just the way in which things don't work out, or things are beautiful even though they don't. I think that it also starred Giulietta Messina, and I think the first time I ever cried in a movie was in the movie Nights of Cabiria. So I'd seen 8½, first, and I knew her as the character that Fellini's wife is based on. But again, Fellini, La Strada, Nights of Cabiria, 8½, those black and white Italian movies that are so steeped in the drama of a life and the humor, Fellini always meant a great deal to me. Of course, then he made Juliet of the Spirits, and he was in color. Suddenly everything was in color, and you had Sandra Milo, and But 8½, was that surreal, almost and deeply psychological storytelling. Yeah, but really surreal. So that went along with what was going on in my life at the time with Bob Dylan, and how he was transforming popular music, and especially in his imagery. Okay, number one, the Largo. The Largo is where I would go hear the Watkins Family Hour, which is Sean and Sarah Watkins from Nickel Creek, but inviting their friends to join them, and they always curate a great show, and you always hear somebody that you never knew existed, and there's suddenly this, you know, it's like Madison Cunningham finally, like, just walks out there and suddenly he's like, oh, you know, or Margaret Glaspie, you know, there's always somebody new, and there's always traditional music being made, and it's also where no one can pull out their camera. It's a really intimate place. The other two great clubs, one is McCabe's, which is a guitar shop, and it's just a listening room. It's just a place where there's nothing to drink but, you know, some coffee or some tea or a cookie or something, and people sitting in folding chairs and listening. It's the most austere listening environment, but people come there with the best spirit, and it's just listening, just listening. Did I say three? Well, I like the Baked Potato. The Baked Potato is a jazz club, but you might also hear someone like my friend Val McCallum's band that he has with Davey Farragher and Pete Thomas from Elvis Costello's rhythm section, and they're playing a rockabilly, three-piece rockabilly power trio, you know. And the name of that band is Jack Shit. But that's a band, that's a room also, is a listening room, but you can get a potato cooked like 20 different ways. You can get like a baked potato with chili on it, or a baked potato with, you know, they have so if you're hungry, and you can get a drink. And that's a very different environment. You go hear the same band, Jack Shit, there as McCabe's, and it's a very different experience because people can drink and eat, and, you know. So those are my three. Well, okay. Well, I don't know anything about being young anymore. But I do know that being young is a lot harder than it used to be. I think it's a very dangerous world, especially for young people. And so I encourage you to take matters into your own hands and make the life that you want with everything you've got. You know, I think to be a musician is to tell your truth, and whatever that truth may be, it's also going to evolve as you get older. So follow your heart, be yourself, and give it everything you got. The truth is there, you just have to uncover it. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you around. Come to one of my shows.